Well, what is it with the guitars? Surrounded by an awful lot of instruments would understate it.
Yeah.
You're a collector of guitars.
I am. I'm a user of guitars. As I collect them, though, to me, I use them, and they were built to do a job. They were built to play music on them. There's a lot of people that buy and collect guitars that don't play, that only for the economics of it, of buying something and selling it for a profit and whatnot. And I feel like I rescue these guitars. They get played on records. They make music what they were intended to do. But what's fun about my collection is some of them come with a pretty neat story. There have been several times that I've helped a friend out that might be going through a rough patch and need to maybe get some money together, and they'll call me up and say, will you have any interest in buying my guitar? And I said, yeah, I'll buy it so you don't lose it. I said, I'll buy it, and they said, you can come get it back when you get back on your feet.
Your version of sort of a hawk shop.
Yeah, but no profit. You know, I'm not. You know, I've told several guys, and they come back and get them for the same money that they sold it to me for. So I've never sold any guitars. I'm not trying to buy something for $10 and sell it for $20 and make money off of it. I don't look at them that way. When I was 18, I moved to Kentucky, and I started playing in a bluegrass band there right out of high school. In bluegrass, the old pre-war Martins are kind of the most sought-after guitars, and I had a newer Martin from the early 70s that was the one guitar I had for playing bluegrass music, and so I found this great old pre-war D28 Martin from 1942, and this guy had it for sale, and it was $2,500. This was in 1975.
A lot of money.
That's a lot of money in 1975. And I had my guitar, and I said, can I look at that guitar? And he said, sure, kid. And picked it out and played it, and it just sounded like $1 million. And I said, would you consider a trade? And he said, well, absolutely not.
I'm not open to trade in.
So we worked a trade, and I think about $1,500. And so I wrote him a check for $1,500 or $1,600. I can't remember what it was. And truth be told, that was all the money I had. That was every penny I'd saved for my future, from all the little gigs I'd played to that point, and left home and had a little bit of money in a checking account, and that was it. And I'd spent it all on that guitar, and I still have it. And at the same time I was there was a friend of mine that had this old Martin from the same year. It was a little fancier model. It was called a D45. And in the world of guitar collecting, that guitar is the Holy Grail of collectible guitars. They only made 91 of them in history, and so they're very rare and very sought after. And I'd moved to California, and he called me up. His name's Harry Sparks, and called him Sparky. And he said, Benny, he says, I got to sell my D45. And I said, you can't sell that. That's the Holy Grail. And he said, well, I'm in trouble. And he said, will you buy it? And I said, absolutely. So I bought it for $7,500. This was in 1977, probably, top of the line of what you'd pay for an instrument. And I said, but I'll make you a promise. I'll never get rid of it, and anytime you want it back, you can have it back. And so I kept the guitar for about 20 years, and 15, 20 years, and he called and he said, well, I'm back on my feet, I'm squared away, and I'd like to get my guitar back. And I said, okay, a deal's a deal, and I gave it back to him for $7,500. It might have been worth six figures at the time, but there was the beauty in the relationship of a friend that was always his guitar, so I just kept it for him.